Hello and welcome to the Dead. Everything is, you know, this is a little loud. I apologize to everybody. I'm gonna turn myself down just a tad. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dead Unicorn. My name is Corey. This is the tabletop role-playing game club, and we're playing Shadow Empire. It is a Legend of the Five Rings actual play. I'm joined by James, Sasha, Tarek, and Crystal. And I'm a little angry, but it's okay. It's fine. I don't know. It's just a little mood thing. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. I promise. But I did see the new trailer for X-Men '97, and I'm really excited about it. Especially Magneto. That Jewish mutant that survived the Holocaust and is really upset at humanity and wants to destroy everybody different than him so he can finally feel safe. That's not an allegory for anything that's happening today. Not at all. That's just good fashioned old entertainment right there. Don't think too hard about that. I want to thank my patrons scrolling on the bottom of the screen.
Not like any of us are in charge of y'all.
What?
Well, when you said don't think too hard on that, I responded with or do, and then it's follow up. It's not like any of us are in charge of y'all.
Well, I mean, you can go ahead and do that. Sure, why not? If you want to think really hard about it and find some sort of real life lesson about what's going on in today's society, I don't think that there's harm in that at all. I think that you'll get some very good stuff out of that. If you want to become part of our Dead Unicorn Club, you can join us on Patreon. You can join us on Discord. We appreciate all the support you can give us. And what else? Oh, we have a poll for the character who needs the most help. And who needs the most help this week? It's Shursuro Kuranagi.
Yay! I will die without it.
So we do a poll every Monday. Monday is when the poll goes up. I'm gonna have a great time running this game today. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to doing this through gritted teeth.
I'm terrified now. Thank you. I'm shaking in my little booties.
Let's get that brave.
I'm just having a day, guys. Things are not going well for me.
We've had, about 7 sessions since the new year started, counting this one? And Matt's been on time for 2?
Yeah. When we're late, it's usually his fault. So, go bother him on Twitter X. Go bother him on X. Don't call it Twitter.
Or join our Discord server where you can bother him in real time.
Yeah, you can bother him in real time on our Discord. Yeah, I believe
he has some commission slots for art open, which he did provide our wonderful tokens here.
Yeah. Bother him to do cool
Bother him
art.
at work.
Exactly. If he's going to be late, at least give him the excuse of he's working for y'all.
But Matt plays Doji Dice K. James here is playing Ide Youngso. Sasha's playing Narin. Tarek's playing Shursuro Kuranagi. And the beautiful Crystal is playing Moshi Sora, who has our thumbnail today. I put her on the thumbnail.
Why don't you ever call me beautiful
Nepotism.
anymore?
Stop denaming. You mean X? Yeah, it's just X. Never call it the other name. It's never going to be the other name. It's only X. And if you don't like it, you should leave it and come with me to Mastodon and follow me on Mastodon and talk to me.
Or maybe you should just
Does
leave
that
it.
mean the act of posting on it has changed to Xing?
Yes. That's exactly
That
correct.
sounds like a
Got
sex
through by
act.
a team.
Yeah.
That got vetted somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Xing sounds like a sex act, so I don't think I'm going to use that.
Well,
Yeah,
it
well,
sounds
Elon
too
wants
much
you to
like
X up the joint.
sexting.
All right, let's go to the map. There's the map. We're not.
I can see it this time. It's so beautiful.
Oh wow!
Yay!
Excellent.
Now
Too,
Lauren has
too bad this map is
vision.
done, and y'all are heading off to the Spider Shack.
The spider shack. That doesn't sound creepy at all.
What are they gonna do to us in the spider shack?
Wait, can I?
I feel like we're about to get fed to spiders.
I think this is where we're supposed to sleep tonight.
Can I not be in a spider shack?
Grenug, there's a sphere of centipedes and
Well,
spiders.
it's unfortunately this is Spider Clan, so any shacks are going to be spider shacks.
It
Yeah,
would be
I don't-
rare to find a shack
I
that
don't
wasn't a spider
like
shack.
that idea.
This
I think
area
I'll
of the
live here
forest
and say that
has
that's a bad
spider
idea.
webs everywhere.
Are we supposed to see stuff?
I
I'm
do.
still at 98%.
But
It
I
hasn't
have,
fully
God.
loaded.
I have dark
Jesus.
vision.
I think it's because it's dark. I think because this time I see black.
I have dark vision, so I get to see the shack.
It hasn't loaded yet for me. Plus, also everything's still paused.
You should have total
Yeah, it is.
vision.
I have dark
Nope.
vision.
Yeah, global illumination is on. Save changes. That should help.
Oh, it's daylight.
Wow.
Oh, hey, there's light now.
Praise
Is
I
there?
can
Are we
see.
But
standing in
we're
a
in
shadow,
squares instead of hexes.
or is this
Oh
mud?
shoot, there's
It's dirt.
you're absolutely right. Hexes.
And this is as zoomed out as it can get.
I'm gonna have to refresh. I'm not. It's hung up at 98.
Uh-oh.
No, don't do that.
Well, he did it. He did it. It's too late.
Corey has a lot of stuff to do now.
Corey gonna be more angry and he's gonna take it out on us. We're all gonna die.
The spider shack
Nice
is going to
knowing
be
you
a
guys.
spider fuck shack, and now we're all going to die.
This is where it ends.
You think you did the backwards?
Did I do it backwards?
Yeah, you did it backwards.
Yeah, I did.
That's some nice mud I
fit
can see there.
Most of a hex on my screen.
Must be equal or greater to 1. Alright, how's that? Can you zoom out? Why can't I zoom out anymore?
Negative.
There we go. This is zoomed all the way out. It's a little better than what we started with.
There we go. Now I'm
Oh, perfect.
able to
Yeah,
make it
much
into
better.
a tiny dot on my screen.
I
There
still
we
don't
are.
see it. I'm still at 98%, even after
Just
that refresh.
let it load. Might take a while.
Just let it think.
Yeah, we
Alright,
we all
this
know
is a
my
big
computer
area.
is old and kind of cranky.
Same as me.
Old and cranky? Not
Alright.
bad.
Also not that cranky.
I don't know about that.
As
I'm
you
not
guys
that cranky.
wander through the forest, being led by the spider Sohi, you can hear the rattling of chains beneath their large, I guess they're robe-like clothing and hoods. And it's not far until you get to this shack. This
Is
guard
the chain
shack.
rattling sound with like every step, like their feet are chained or something, or is it like a continuous kind of sound?
It sounds like they have the rattle of chains as they walk.
By the way, Corey, are we in the right order on the stream?
No, of course not. Why would you be in the right order on the stream?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I
Weird
I would have
chain
loved to have fixed that. I thought I fixed that, but of course I didn't. Of course.
Oh wait, no, it looks like we are. Never mind. I am.
Oh,
way
hello.
better.
I'm the game master today.
And Corey is me.
When James flipped his hair up over his head on YouTube, he was Sora. So someone in the comments said that's a very versatile hairstyle, Sora. And that's put into me.
Immediate 80s.
There we go. We did it. Now let's see if it still works when we go back to this. Nope. Now this is all wrong. Ah, this is so bad.
Oh, it worked.
I told you I'm having a time today.
On stream, it looks good.
Sora Karnagi goes here, and Narn goes here, and then we do this. Yep, and then go back to the map.
Well, according to Matt's call, he should be showing up any second.
Okay, now everybody.
We'll see.
Everybody's in the right spot. There was an upgrade to my software. They added an AI assistant to it. I don't want an AI. I was doing fine without an AI assistant. Let me just.
The
Says
only
you have
wizard
to
that
take
Thanks.
knows how
time
to
to
do the
teach it.
old
It's like,
incantation.
Thanks for the chat, guys. Thanks for talking in the chat and everything. I really appreciate it. So,
It's Vegeta.
you guys get to the shack, and all of the monks seem to sit around this table. You heard like all of their chains, and you can go talk to them about it if you like.
Yeah.
Oh, let me unpause it. There, that should work. Now you can move yourself.
Ha ha.
Aha.
Oh, okay. Just coincidentally, Naurin came at the same time. It looked like she was connected to my backside as I walked.
Now that'd be Kuranagi.
Suction cupped on.
You do notice a pair of graves right here.
Oh, that's strange. Is that a little Buddha?
That's a little statue of some guy. It could be a Shinsei.
It's just a chubby Shinsei?
I don't know. You don't know. You don't. This is Legend of the Five Rings. There's no Buddha around here.
I just wanted to be a chubby Shinsei.
Yeah, is it a
Shinsei, but
fat happy one?
Yeah, they had a lady Shinsei. Why not?
No, chubby is too far.
They say this is where we hang out. Why did y'all want to come here again? I forgot.
High fives. We wanted to just give them high fives and then leave. And
I'm
never,
serious.
They told us that they had a problem. Well, so they were asking us a whole bunch of questions. They were
Her mic
asking
is
about
off.
the Empire.
Uh-oh. Sasha's mic is gone? Yeah, it is. Give me a second.
Hello.
Yes.
So they were asking us a whole lot of questions about like the Empire and whatever, and we had some questions for them.
Yes.
And then the whole thing happened, and they were like, we should like go inside and then talk and exchange information.
Away from the sounds that we're getting.
And then they also told us about the sounds, and they kind of sort of asked for help. Like they imply that they could use help. We kind of said that we
That's
could
right.
offer while we were here, and then we wanted to go talk about it,
That's right.
if I remember correctly.
That's right.
Those are correct things.
They say this is where we stay when we're not guarding the gate. You wish to go speak with the Sage of Spiders?
I suppose we do.
Well, if you help us with our problem, with these spirits who are using music to try and kill us, I'm sure we could set up a meeting.
I am unsure about the rest of our group, but I, for one, have some questions if you are amicable to providing some answers.
What questions do you have?
Firstly, we, on our way here, ran into the Sage of Flowers. We did not leave on good terms. What are they called? The Spider Clan or the Spider? What are they called?
These are just the these are just the Sohei. These are just Sohei.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you and your group on friendly terms with the Sage of Flowers and his people?
The Sage of Flowers. We have no problem with the Sage of Flowers other than that he seems to have a problem with us.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Oh, we are probably against whatever philosophy he is spouting to his followers. But from his actions, he seems quite in line with what we would do.
Has your group been in this forest long enough to perhaps know if his community was once occupied by someone else or something else?
Oh, Cinnamon Forest has many, many different Desians.
Denizens.
Denizens. They range from all sorts of strange creatures, from rat men to snake men to bird men. Spirits of all sorts. Goblins, oni, ogres, trolls.
I don't know much about the temperament of many of these beings. However, I do know a massacre when I see one. And there were many mutilated bodies of perhaps what you call snake men up in his private quarters. Do you have any idea why that might be? It was a rather gruesome sight.
Yeah. He took their village. That was a village of the Naga, and he came in and he killed them all while they slept.
I see.
The Naga, from what I know, they have a long slumber period and wake when needed.
Are they generally peaceful?
I've never met them. But legend says that they are very competent swords people. Warriors.
I suppose I'm simply trying to get my bearings and understand what type of people dwell within this forest. You must understand.
Well, if you want to see the Sage of Spiders, if you want to get to know us, first we need a show of faith, a little bit of trust. If you can help us with these spirits, that would go a long way. and we can point you in the right direction. If you go to the altar of spiders, there is a weapon there that can stop these creatures. It was once set up as a test to test the monks, the acolytes of the sage. But now, with the spirits torturing us, the test is all but impossible. But if the spirits don't attack you while you are performing the trial, then perhaps you can get to that weapon.
Is there any advice you could offer us, considering we are not followers of your philosophy?
And do we get to keep the weapon?
Who's that man? They look over at Kitsu Sotaru. Why do you have a prisoner?
He was instrumental in a coup against the Emperor. We are taking him through the forest for questioning.
A coup against the Emperor,
Yes.
That is a high-value prisoner, I would suppose.
Indeed. There's already been an attempt to rescue him.
He turns over to the man and says, "Are what they say true?" And he says, "I'll tell you what. You get me out of these chains, and I'll make sure that your spider monks are part of the Empire." And the monks look back, look at each other, look at Naren, who's been talking all this time, and they say,
Kuranagi.
Naren has a face like she's daring them to challenge
before
that.
Kuranagi,
Like, take her up on that.
before they respond at all, Kuranagi will look over at the Kitsu and say, "If you are not able to do something as simple as get free from the bonds that bind you currently in our possession, why would they believe that you would have any capability of making them whole or acknowledged by anyone in the Empire?"
And besides, they are people of the Empire anyway.
Satoru is an incompetent man who has been fooled by us twice already. If you think he can offer you anything that we can't, you are just as big as fools as he is.
Satoru says,
I'm also going to lose 3 strife from that, because that was fucking brutal.
Satoru shrugs, and he says, you five don't seem to understand power. That's all that I'm saying.
And you don't seem to understand why people would choose to stay in the Shinneman Forest.
I think I'd have a very good grasp of why they want to stay in the Shinneman Forest. These are the kinds of people that most of the Empire would not wish to rub shoulders with. But, like you said, I was involved with the coup, right? A successful one at that, I would say. And since I have the ear of the leaders and I'm in on all of that, they can be all but guaranteed that I can and will find a place for them in the Empire and make sure that they are accepted.
If your coup was so successful, then why are you a prisoner? A successful coup would end up with the perpetrators not captured.
You have no idea what's going on.
Maybe not big picture, but you're missing the details. And there's a phrase about in Unicorn about those who don't pay attention to details. they're soon in horse shit.
Just tell your Sage of Spiders about my offer. That's all. We will be within your domain for probably a few days as we travel southward.
Perhaps while you're speaking to your sage about our prisoner's offer, you should know that he promised similar power to a young boy looking to be the new Khan of the Unicorn Clan. That boy's head rolled off his shoulders. And if you follow him, your heads will roll too. Not necessarily even by our hands. He is in no position to be making such lofty promises to you. He cares for little except his own freedom. But if you wish to be on a fool's errand, then, well, I doubt there's much else I can say to sway you. However, you will find us at odds. That I can assure you.
They all look at each other for a second, and one person says, I think I should get something to drink for everybody. And the other monks say, we have a jug of sake. I think it's time to break that out.
Sake? Oh, that sounds excellent.
And this gentleman will...
And then I lean over to Naurin and go, oh, don't worry. I'll drink your share.
Yeah, because she's not going to touch her share of sake anyways, so go for it. Go nuts.
Like, Daisuke raises an eyebrow and is like, oh, this is suspicious. Like, he doesn't say it out loud. He's just like, convenient timing.
Welcome to the
Wonderful.
stream, Matt. Everybody, Matt's here. Doji Daisuke. Glad you could finally make it.
Sorry for being so fashionably late. Have to make my money. I'm a weekend warrior.
Haha. Fashionable, says the crane.
It is an impressive feat to go door to door killing villagers while they slept. That's how you know they're brave. Just so
Brave in a cowardly way.
just so people know, like, not that your characters would know this, but Naga lore is that the Naga sleep until there is a threat to the world, and then they will awaken. And they do have scouts and guards that stay awake and watch over the sleeping group. Because otherwise, they live in the land of dreams. And that's where they kind of reside otherwise.
If they are warriors that rise when there is a threat to the world, they sound kind of like good guys.
They're kind of like good guys, yeah.
Kind of like good guys. Yeah, that's
Kinda
what
like
it
good
sounds
guys.
like.
Yeah, which means Naurin slept with an a-hole.
Isn't that typical?
I think you just called yourself out, Doji Daisuke.
Yeah, I think you did.
I don't know.
Based on
I
the
don't know
self-burn,
our backstory.
apply
I
ice
don't
for
know
30
anything
minutes.
That happened between
Based
Daisuke
upon
and Naurin.
the people that I know Naurin has been with, 2 out of 3, yeah.
Keep this in mind.
She apparently likes bad boys.
Keep this in mind.
gonna
I
type.
don't know if Daisuke or Naurin ever really did anything
they
except
didn't.
for being engaged.
Yeah.
Well, you had some questions. I'm sorry, we've gone off topic a little. You have some questions.
Are you getting back in character or what?
That's what the monks say.
Come by.
You hear inside a bunch of chains rattle, and then the guy comes back out with a jug of sake and some cups. And he puts the cups on the table and starts filling them with a big, like, a jug that is bigger than his head.
Did they actually have any advice for us about the trials? Because we kind of got off topic, and I don't think they ever said if they did about their altar. because they want us to succeed. So I imagine if they have advice, they might be inclined to give it to us.
Yes. Conquer your fear. Go towards that which you want. And don't look back.
This is a question for Corey. Is the serving of sake done the same way that it is I think it's supposed to be done in Japan, where the guest serves their host first?
This guy just poured a bunch of sake and set the cups out for everybody.
Like,
Then on the next round, I'll do the pour, and whichever one of the
Sure.
Sohei has been talking the most, he's the leader, so his cup gets done first.
I will
And-
say that. Oh, sorry. Continue,
and-
James.
And because of that, I get to take 3 strife off.
We will tell you where the altar of the spiders is, and they give you directions to it, and it's about a day's travel away. When you are done, you can go to the sanctum of the sage, and they give you the directions there as well.
Naren doesn't actually drink her own portion of sake, but she will like take like a sniff and a tiny little sip just because she doesn't want her friends to be poisoned by a bunch of spider people who went and brought sake back immediately after Kipu Satoru basically said, "Kill them and free me, and I will give you power." So, just if I
And
need to make a roll for that, please let me know.
And I can also make that roll just because I'm such an expert on sake. I'd know if it was adulterated.
Your character dislikes sake, right?
Yes,
Did
she
you-
does
did you
not
take a
like the
dis-
smell of sake.
Did you take a disadvantage for that?
I did not. It's just
Okay.
a character.
Then you don't have to take any sort of strife from sniffing the sake or anything like that.
She just like doesn't like the smell, so she makes a face. Like, ugh.
So with the social decorum that happened, where they just abruptly ended the talks with Kitsu Satoru, like Daisuke noticed, oh, let's bring out the sake, because Daisuke's
yeah,
like,
they're like changing the
yeah,
subject.
something's a little weird about that. So can I do a sentiment analyze check?
Yeah, I'll let you do a sentiment analyze check.
All right.
It's like saying,
Skullduggery.
so how about the Super Bowl?
So
Could I do a skullduggery analyze as well, to just when I'm sipping the sake myself, because I know sake so well, I know if it's been altered.
I am going to turn off the TN. There's no TN for this that you know of, so you can gain a void.
Oh, lovely. I'll spend the
What are
void
we,
point.
what are we rolling?
He's rolling a sentiment check on them
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
to get some
And I'd like to
information.
make a skullduggery check on that too,
For what again?
to just seeing if the sake's been altered
Oh, okay.
in any way.
Sure. You may do that as well.
I will do it with medicine.
I'd like to make a skullduggery check for something different. Maybe a courtesy.
Everybody's making checks.
Which is to like act like I'm drinking without actually drinking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sleight of hand is.
Skullduggery.
I think it'd be skullduggery. Yeah, I
think
really
so.
do. Yeah.
Same thing with the difficulty, or do you want to give me a difficulty?
Doing it on
I'll
the
give you a
sly.
difficulty of 2.
It looks like Daisuke got 5 successes and I got 3.
Okay.
That's a lot of dice.
Different people rolling. I'm gonna re-roll some because my advantage to see if there's any poison. Wow, a lot of opportunity, not a lot of successes.
All right. 3 successes. You can tell that this sake is low grade sake that has been enhanced with a little bit of apple.
But that's it for the adulteration.
That's all the adulteration it has.
Sake with
So
apple
it's
juice.
not very adult, is what you're saying.
Which means for the rest of you, you see a young so go sip, and just keep right on sipping.
Naren can't tell at all what's up with this sake. It's gross.
No.
It smells like sake. You don't like it.
No, she doesn't like it.
Take
A
3
little
strikes.
bit of fruit wine in this.
I act
Kuronagi.
very subtly. My 2 opportunity make me be very subtle.
Yes, Kuronagi is drinking her sake, and nobody is the wiser. That
Pouring
is.
it in between her
Drinking it.
like legs. No one's noticing. It's puddling on the floor.
Sort of like drinking it like Kronk does.
It's okay. Don't ask questions.
I would like to use my 2 opportunity to notice an interesting detail about a character in the scene. If you have something in particular you want to share, I'll leave it up to you. Otherwise, I'll just grab like a disadvantage from one of them.
Yes. So all of these monks are wearing chains under their robes.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him about that. I'm going to.
I'll tell you a little bit more information since this stuff you've already kind of figured out. The chains are not connected to each other. So they're not like, if they're connected like manacles, they're not like
chained together. They're broken.
they're not together, right? So the chains, since they're not coming out of their sleeves or out up from they're not manacled onto them. So they must be wrapped around them, like their chest or their waist, or maybe even their necks, since they're really quite covered. Does that make sense?
Kinda, yeah. If no one else has anything they want to ask, I will have Naren ask about it. But I want to give someone else a chance because I've been talking a lot.
Oh,
so.
they might also be wrapped around their wrist. Or their legs, like wrist weights or leg weights. They. Yeah, that's. I think that's everything.
Okay. Yeah, now that we're in like friendly land where we're just hanging out and we can talk at our leisure, I'll be like, so I noticed the sound of chains as you all are walking. Clearly you're not shackled. So could you tell me what is that about?
We are wearing chains.
Something to do with your religious beliefs?
Yes, very much so. It is a religious observance that we wear these chains. If you must have a little more information, because I'm sure your curiosity is not satisfied yet. We
Yes.
wear these chains for the same reason that the scorpion wear masks.
Are they like looking at Naren?
No, you're not.
They wouldn't know you used to
You
be
do wear a mask
Scorpion.
you do wear a mask, but other than that,
Yeah.
you have no indication that you're a scorpion.
Her kimono is still in clan colors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then
She
yeah.
does not hide it.
They'll look at that and she'll throw Kuronagi.
Daisuke side eyes Kuronagi, like in a playful manner.
For now, he's not wearing a mask.
Yeah,
Nope,
that's
she's not.
exactly.
She wears glasses.
Technically.
Obviously.
But you would know if people are confused by that statement, you could elucidate for them.
And I say, then it is a symbol.
The scorpion's masks. They look at each other. Is it a symbol? Is it a symbol?
Naren takes hers off and says it's a tool.
Is it a tool?
Well, perhaps a scorpion companion of mine would be a more proper person to talk about the subject.
One monk lifts a finger. It is a cone.
That is actually true.
Would you care to expand on that, Kuronagi?
About it being a cone?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's a riddle, right? Why does Scorpion wear masks?
To get to the other side.
I mean, if you ask most people, they'd say because every scorpion is a liar. But is that the truth?
Ah, yes.
Daisuke rolls his eyes.
Every follower of the Sage of Spiders is a criminal. As they all shake their wrists, and you hear the chains clatter.
That's a very wise way to put it. Perhaps it could be seen as a statement of freedom.
Maybe when we're done, and we could hand Satoru over to you once we're done with him.
Naren
He's already
frowns.
got chains on him.
You can actually see her frowning because she took her mask off and then she puts her mask back on.
Shosuro-san, is
Yes?
that why scorpions wear masks? Because they're all liars?
Of course not.
Of course not. They all shake their chains again.
Naren really wants to say just most.
I've known honorable scorpions, and I've known lying phoenix. So
So what does that tell you about who these people might be?
all this tells me about these scorpion, or not scorpion, these spider fellows in front of us is that they are wearing chains. That's it. And that is only because it is blatantly obvious.
And they choose to do so for...
Their own reasons.
Well, I suppose the same can be said for anyone.
Of course, Kuronagi, you may be slightly frustrated with me at the moment, but it's the same reason we became friends. I just tend to treat people as people. Well, first.
Well,
Does Crystal have a comically large glass of water, or is it just the angle?
It's just,
That's a pint glass. I have some of those myself.
Okay, it was mostly the angle. It looked massive.
so big.
the
Just like my pen.
they say, and they gesture towards Ida Youngso and say, "There is a man with no curiosity."
Oh, I'm plenty curious. I just also don't really. I
Let's just say
find
he's
I have
learned
more
when-
respect for people's privacy than most.
Let's just say he's learned when to keep his mouth shut and when not to.
Out of character, I'm just what are that? Are you
I
lying
don't
to them?
ask too many. I don't ask too many questions because I respect other people's privacy.
Is that for real? Have you changed your character concept since you created this character?
No, he's just saying this right now.
That's what I thought. Okay, good. just, it's
Says the
either a
unicorn
gentle
spy.
nudge to remind you what kind of character you're playing if you kind of forgot.
Yeah, I said
Or-
it with such conviction there too that I even fooled the game master.
Just making sure that I'm just asking if you're lying. Because I don't think you were lying. I think you lost track of what character you're playing.
Corey,
No.
roll a sentiment check.
No, it is one of those that directly asking questions is not Young So's way. So in that sense, what he said is true. But at the same time, rifling for your stuff to learn everything about you that he can is also fully on the table for him.
So, don't go to sleep around him.
At least not with your stuff
And
out.
yet-
He'll take off your robe and see exactly what chains are where.
Ooh.
And why is that one called a Prince Albert?
Did they not continue on their line of questioning about the Empire? Because they did forget, and Naurin will not remind them if they have forgotten.
I think you explained that there was a new Con of the Unicorn already.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
Oh,
But
don't
the-
worry. I'm referring to a very specific question you asked last session. But if they don't ask it again, then I
But
will
they'll
not.
ask. They say, so this man over here claim he is part of a coup in the Empire. Who has he overthrown or attempted to overthrow? Who is in charge of the Empire for in truth?
Someone else want to answer this?
As far as who is in charge in truth, we can only hope that it is currently the Emperor himself. But he is a part of a group that is working in the shadows, so to speak.
A Shadow Empire?
Dun dun dun.
Sure,
They
if you
did
like.
it. They did
I
the
would
thing. They did the thing where they said the thing inside the thing. About the thing.
It's the first time we were able to say that out loud.
We did it.
It's season 3. We said the words.
You said the words.
And they are gathering power for themselves wherever they can take it.
They will not succeed.
So, that is an interesting tale. And you are part of a group trying to stop them.
And you stand in their way.
You guys are not doing a very good job of convincing them that they shouldn't side with Satoru.
I
Just
know.
saying.
And what are your goals?
Mine? My personal is to survive.
I did not ask
that?
that. I don't care about your personal goals. I said, what are your goals? He looks at the entire group. If he represents a shadow empire, then what do you represent? And why are you trying to stop him?
So I think I'll have Daisuke speak up. Bringing the truth to light. Making sure that there are no misuse of illicit tactics to have someone's political ideologies usurp what we had as the status quo.
Satoru laughs at that.
Daisuke doesn't remove his social mask on that, but oof.
Such naivete. You don't even sound like a samurai.
Narin is gonna take her sake cup before Ide Youngso finishes his. She's going to shove it into Satoru's like manacled hands and say, "Drink and shut your mouth."
For a second, I thought
Kind
you
of
were
wanted
gonna
to
say-
poke him in the
My
face
nerves.
with
His
it.
manacled hands, he doesn't
Testing my
have
patience.
hands that he's got like big things that come around his, so he
He
can't
can
cast.
hold them in his mittens between them. He can figure it out. It's like
do
an
want
idiot
sake.
drinking. That's his own problem.
Sake is nice.
For
I
a
do want
second, I
some.
thought you were gonna take the sake cup, toss it to Daisuke's mouth to shut him up.
I thought you were just
I
gonna.
would love to cork you. I would love to put a cork in your mouth.
I
That
thought
would
you
be
were just
very
gonna
enjoyable.
throw it on his face.
Me too.
I am one moment away from doing it. We're getting real close.
There's an answer here that I instinctually want to say, but I am not necessarily playing the character who should be the one delivering that message. I think that might be a Naurin or a Moshi Sora thing to say. But if it's not said soon, then Kurenaki will of course state it.
The monks will nod and say, "Fellow seekers of the truth."
Yes.
Survive, purge corruption, meet with the heaven-ordained leaders of our country, and possibly have a rise in rank as a result.
They scratch. One scratches his chin and says, "The status quo. Is that the truth, though?"
No, not always.
They look
but
at Daisuke. They're looking at Daisuke, who said that word.
Fair enough, because the reason why I had Daisuke say that is because, well, the crane, from my point of view, from what I've read about the topic and also like having played the games, is that essentially the crane is essentially the cultural center of the empire, having close ties with the imperial family and such, and having a lot of political power. So essentially, what Daisuke was trying to explain that
It's being character and
why upset a balance that has been working for a lot of people. But hold on, and I lost my train of thought. Why essentially upset a balance that has been working for a lot of people, and to bring the truth to light as to why these other political factions are trying to cause these problems by killing off so many Rokugani citizens.
What if the truth and the status quo are at odds? The monk replies.
Then perhaps I'm not privy to the truth, then. I would like to know firsthand at what this
Satoru has the cup in his mouth and just kind of and sucks it down and spits it out on the ground and says, "Smart monk."
We do journey to a place where we hope we can get the truth. The fact is, Satoru-san here physically cannot tell us what is going on. So we look to bring him to a place where someone can reverse whatever magics have been used on him to prevent him from speaking. Perhaps then we will find out what is going on and what we should be doing.
And what if the things he says do not align with your samurai code?
Then we will
Then-
deal with that when that happens.
Yes.
What did he say? Can you
If-
say that one more time?
So he said, what would you do if what he says doesn't align with your samurai code?
If what Satoru says doesn't,
Yes.
or if
the
what
things
the Emperor
that what he says, what he reveals.
If there's worse atrocities happening underneath, or excuse me, in the underbelly of the Empire that we're not aware of, that he's aware of.
They say another one of the monks will say, "We come to Shinneman Forest to discover truth that samurai would find uncomfortable."
Uncomfortable or untrue?
Truth doesn't have an opinion.
But there is also the matter of there is large truth and small truths.
They all shake their heads.
Like, I say sake is good. That is true for me, but it is not true for one of my companions. That would be a small truth for me. Big truths are true for everyone, such as hold up two rocks. 1 and 1 is 2.
I think our friends here are referring to the big truths.
They have remained very silent as you explain to them your beliefs.
There are facts about our world.
And even if
I
they
think we
are
can all
uncomfortable,
agree that there are facts about our world that are consistent regardless of who is in power or where we are in this world. The individuals that is sitting beside us, she says as she gestures over to Kitsusatoru,
He's kind of hung back a little, if you notice. That's where he is.
is in no way someone who is looking to dedicate himself to the improvement of life for those who are subjugated under the current regime. He is simply an opportunist looking to gather power for himself and his co-conspirators. Of that I am sure.
So, there are people subjugated under the regime of this man's organization.
I am sure there are people who are subjugated under his regime
Are
as
there-
well as those who are subjugated under the current regime.
Uh, my point exactly. Before he and his group ever came to power, there were other people who were subjugated. What
So are
about
we
them?
supposed to accept that we should shuffle around the subjugated lot? Or should we attempt to make life better for those who we can?
So, Shisoro-san, you are looking to upend order for justice?
I think justice is something that should be served. That being said, I do believe that we all have a place in society and a role to play.
They'll look at each other. To what lengths would you go to help a subjugated person?
I have gone to great lengths to help those who were subjugated in the past. I think I would still do so even to this day.
Would you fight your lord?
She looks at this person with like a, this is an obvious question, and goes, "We are currently being hunted by my lord."
Would you fight heaven?
We have fought the spirits here on Ningendo. As one who cannot travel to heaven, if heaven came down to me and told me that I needed to get out of the way so that it could subjugate more people, I would, yes, stand in its way.
He looks to the others and say, "Do you?"
Lang was someone who fell from the heavens, and we must fight him on the day of thunder to ensure that he does not rise to power again.
They tap
It
their
is not
glasses.
far-fetched to
They,
attack.
they tap their sake cups on the table. Tap 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 tap. You think it's a positive thing. They look to
Sometimes
the
they
others
must do-
and say, "Are you all? Do you all agree with what Shosuro-sana said?"
Yes. If my lord is unjust, I would fight him.
Same
If-
for mine.
If heaven comes against me to harm those on this plane, I would fight heaven.
You wear your chains well, then.
We all have our burdens to bear.
Aaron is just sitting very stiff.
Oh, her mic.
Sasha's gone again. Why does that do that, Tarek?
Her microphone loses connection to my PC, and then I have to reconnect it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Naurin just sits very stiffly.
Yeah, this
Very
is all.
uncomfortable.
This is very uncomfortable stuff for Samurai.
This is very uncomfortable for Naurin, especially.
Yeah, Young So just kind of,
I'm
after
surprised
hearing all
to be
these
honest, that
decorations,
said that he would do this stuff.
looks around and goes, "It's actually part of my family oath to do all of that." So not just me, but I know my entire family would.
You all are welcome to stay here for the night. If you intend to acquire the weapon, please let us know before you leave so we may inform our sage. And if you arrive at the sanctum of the sage with the weapon, we will invite you in.
I do believe that it is something that we would probably look to.
I think we should.
As for your companion, your charge, have a safe trip towards your fate. And they'll get up and they'll open the door and they'll walk on in. I'm gonna do it like that.
Like Daisuke is like entertaining the thought of whether or not these monks are also like scorpion shinobi in disguise, trying to pull the same
I
thing
mean,
that
they
they
might
did in
be.
the previous village. And he's like, well, like he's still gonna keep a closer eye on Kitsu Satoru and not let the same thing that happened in the previous village happen.
We're definitely taking watches tonight. No, Satoru is not going to be just sleeping well. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I don't feel comfortable with these monks and how keenly of an interest they have taken in him. We better keep a close eye on him while we're here.
Well, not even just them, but the fact that we know somebody already tried to snatch him.
Mm-hmm. But here we are outnumbered, and they know exactly where we are and what we're doing.
So should we have like a team of 2, like take watch over Kizusatoru and the horses?
Probably good one at a time. What do you guys think?
I think at least one person should be on watch throughout the night. We have ridden hard, and we will need to regain our strength.
Well, if it's all the same, I will attempt to take first watch.
Okay.
Naren looks at Doji Daisuke and like seems to be like studying his expression.
Like Daisuke is, keeping like a somewhat stern face, because like after hearing Kitsu Satoru laugh at what he said, he wants to like question Kitsu Satoru, however he can, like during his watch, but he's not gonna reveal it, like unless Naren does like a sentiment check, but he keeps a stern face essentially for everyone to, look at. But he wants to ask some questions.
She just looks like she's judging you, very visibly.
Kitsu Satoru
Me as a player?
will come on over to one of the empty chairs and take a seat. He'll sit back and relax. Well, you guys, I assume you're setting up a tent or something, or...
Yeah, I have a tent
mean-
and I have a like bedroll. And I
Didn't
have a
they
bunch of stuff.
say we can sleep in the building?
They did.
Yeah.
Then we'll probably go there.
I mean, yeah, let's go inside if we're gonna sleep.
Okay.
Like, hobble the horses and go in.
All right, there's a door right there.
This one right
There's several doors.
Those are windows.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing that's the only door then?
That's a window. This is the door.
Over here.
Yep. I mean, the doors and the windows are a little off from where they're supposed to be for some reason.
Yeah, that's funny.
Sorry about that, guys. Should have rechecked this map a little, but it'll work. It's fine. So you walk in, and there's like a bookcase, and there's some rugs, and there's a desk, and there's a place to prepare food. You know, there are a place to put your sandals. As you can see, there are shoes, and you can take your shoes off here and put on some sandals.
Sounds nice.
Come along, Satoru.
It'll be very cozy to actually sleep indoors.
Yes, I'm sure you would want to stay out of the elements for once.
Oh, do you have the card?
Yeah, I'm the one with that
I
card.
thought Matt had it.
No, Matt has the Benton card.
Right. Okay, just making sure.
I have the Jurigen card.
So if no one's gonna move, Kitsu Satoru, essentially Daisuke brings him inside the building.
Okay. He'll come on in.
Is this a window, by the way?
That's supposed to be a window, yeah.
I'm gonna stay by the window so I can see out toward the.
This is supposed to be a window. This is supposed to be a door.
Oh, that's
That
the door.
that doesn't
That's
make
a
any
window.
sense since the shoes are all next to where the window
Look,
is.
I had a bad time today, guys. But yeah, there's a desk. There seems to be another place around here. There's a door that goes into like a sleeping chamber where the monks sleep. There are tatami mats on the ground in there. There's a spider banner that hangs right here. There's a mounted animal. But the biggest thing y'all notice is there are chains that hang from the roof. They hang from the ceiling. I'm sorry, not from the roof, but from the ceiling.
For push-ups or pull-ups.
Yep.
Grr.
You can do
Spider
you can
monkeys.
climb chains and get buff.
Kuronagi likes climbing.
Does anybody? What are you doing? How are you looking around? Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna set up your sleeping area?
Like, do they have an open area here? Or
I mean, yeah, that looks like an open area. You don't know what's in here.
Is
There's
this
a
crate?
door. There's a door that goes through to there.
So Daisuke will quickly go to this monk and ask him, "Is there a guest area in this abode?"
He looks at you and he says, "Sure, through that
You have a
door."
beach.
And he points to this door down here.
You have a beach house.
And he kind of laughs when he says it.
I hope this is like a
Just,
prison
just,
cell or something.
just trying to make sure that we're welcome where we are welcome, and not going into places that you wouldn't want us to go. Good decorum for guests.
Okay.
All right, so like, and also like, I would definitely have Kisu Satoru follow us to the guest rooms if I could.
Open the
move
door
Daisuke
first.
through the door. Ah, okay. All right, one second.
There's a little
Click.
door icon. You just click it.
All right,
Oh,
you
now I
found the
see.
guest rooms.
Sorry, it was tiny on my screen.
That's because for some reason the map scales have been way off.
So you walk in, and you don't see that little area right here. That's supposed to
Yeah,
be
it's blacked out. I'm like
That-
that.
that's
This is a tiny L-shaped room.
it's a jail cell. It's a prison cell.
I called it.
Ah.
it.
That little blacked off part is actually bars you're supposed to be able to see in there. But let's see if I can change that to make them into...
Yeah, basically make the whole thing a window or something.
Yeah.
Not sure how this program works, but
Okay, and then I'll grab
it's
this.
not a wall.
I'll take that and I'll delete it. And take that and delete it.
Oh. Guest house. I get it.
Perfect for Daisuke.
Yeah, perfect for Daisuke and Satoru.
They can be bunk buddies.
I can't believe all the wall information went nutsoid.
Is this a grate? What is this? And this?
That's just that's a
Like a grate and a
basket.
grate.
That's a basket, and that's just like a box.
Okay.
It's just supplies. So Daisuke, you walk in there, and there's a big jail cell. There's a desk. There's some papers on the desk, a candle, and a card, a Hanafuda card.
Daisuke will at least take a gander at what the Hanafuda card is, and whether or not, depending on which deity it is, he might pick it up, maybe not. But I think he's good with Benton's card at this point. But he'll take a look and see which deity is on the Hanafuda card.
There's a man on the card.
All right, can I do a... Let's see, I'm trying to do history check. So government, recall,
Government.
Theology.
or culture. Sorry, culture. What am I thinking? Government?
Yeah, I think you can do culture. Yeah, culture.
Culture
TN3.
seems good.
Ooh, TN3, wonderful.
Well, theology would be lower TN.
Hmm.
And it would
You
be
can use
Earth.
bonds
It's
to re-roll
it's
one if you
Earth,
wanna take
by
a
the
strike.
way.
Recall.
Yeah, I
Yes.
used Earth.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll re-roll this one, like using my rivalry bond. Well, I mean, it helps. Not by much, though. Would the opportunity do anything for me?
In what
Give
way?
you stuff from the opportunity
Yeah,
list.
you get stuff from the offer. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so Earth Ring. If you fail, determine the easiest way to accomplish the task you are attempting, skill, and approach.
Theology. Earth.
Theology. Can I make another roll after this one, or you're just gonna go? Nope. You have
Sure,
to.
you
You
can
have to
make a
wait a little
theology
later.
Of
roll.
course you can. This time you get to
Alright.
think about gods instead of culture.
All right. So, let's see. So, would recall be a good one?
It's Earth.
Earth. Okay, fine. And what is the difficulty on
2.
this roll?
It's a
2?
difficulty
Okay.
2.
Yippee skippy. Oh, thank goodness.
Looky!
All right, let me see what else I could do with the opportunity on this one. Remove one strife you gained. Okay, yeah, I can do that. All right. So,
All right. I think I got this building now situated. Okay. This is the Fortune Bishamon, the Fortune of Strength.
Awesome. You should wear that.
which is gonna curse me to be weak.
I mean, don't you want to collect them all and figure out what lies at the end of the rainbow? Corey's been teasing it.
Don't you want to be the greatest Pokemon hunter of all time?
It's like when
already-
you shoot the
we already
moon in
lo-
hearts.
like,
it
didn't
seems
we-
really bad until you finally get the last set.
Don't you want to be the very best? Like no one ever was?
And here's another thing. Didn't we already miss one card previously?
I
More
don't.
reason
How
that
would
should
we
go
know
through
if
and
we
try to-
missed one?
You've
Not
only
that we
run
know
into
of.
2, and you've picked up both of them.
All right. So Daisuke will go ahead and pick up the Bishamon card,
Okay.
and I'm sure I will suffer Bishamon's curse, whichever that is. I haven't read the description on that one.
Okay.
Can't we just, like, stuff all of these cards into Satoru's pocket or something?
Yeah.
Make him absolutely weak during the trek. He'll be our weekend pack mule.
Yeah, he dies from exposure because he exposed him to all of the cards at once. And he became too weak. Everybody hates him. Nobody wants to give him food.
I'm really not joking.
Yeah. Suck it,
Here, have
loser.
a salmon roll. Ugh.
Is there like, I don't know, I would posit this idea if my character was a Shugenja, but she's not. But like, I wonder if there's any sort of role that could be made to figure out if there's a way to protect us from these curses while we carry the cards. Like, is there a ritual that you can do to cleanse the cards? Is there any sort of procedure in a way to like wrap them in something that would protect you from being affected by the curse? I don't know.
So here's another thing, like considering
I
that
don't know.
Daisuke received a vision at the end of second chapter after praying to now I'm thinking Bishamon, and I know it's not Bishamon. Benten's curse. So she gave him the premonition of like the boy on the tree smiling.
Mhm.
So he wants to try meditating and trying to like sort of sense, where is this, card collecting thing going? If it's relevant to his journey to appease Benton.
Okay. Yeah, you can meditate on the cards and see if they have a connection to Benton or the quest that Benton has sent you on. Sure,
Mm-hmm.
I'll allow that. That's a hidden TN.
Okay.
Get a
Joy,
void point.
It's theology. Or no, it's it's meditation. It's meditation. Meditation void.
Meditation void. All right. Oh. Okay.
Be right back. Bio break.
All right. So let me look at my opportunity list for void. Let's see. Oh, come on. Let's see. Remove one strife. Choose another ring other than void. Reduce the TN of your next check by 1 if it uses that ring. Ha.
As you
All right.
meditate on the cards and you think back to Benton and you try and center your thoughts to get to some sort of truth here, you come to the realization that these cards, Benton wouldn't have sent you to get these cards if it wasn't important to breaking your curse. And the fact that you keep running into more of them has got to mean something. Because, like, what are the odds that you now have run into 3 of these cards? So, obviously you're being guided.
All right.
Obviously. I mean, what other what other inference could you get from that?
All right. Makes
But
sense.
I mean,
Makes sense. So
that's how that when you center yourself, that's the logic you come to.
okay. So Daisuke will provide a prayer to Bishamon and Benton, and I'm trying to remember what the card of the other deity that currently Kuronagi has. I'm trying to recall.
Jurajin.
What?
Jurajin, the
Kurojin.
god of longevity, fortune of longevity.
So Daisuke will give a prayer to each of those gods to, well, you know.
What are the rest of you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You are praying. You are praying and meditating, doing all of that. That takes a while. What's the rest of you doing?
I kind of
Settling in
want
for
to
the night.
some good food.
All right.
There's since we've eaten something fancy.
There's a kitchen over here. There's some rice. Some grain, some barley. And there is some meat. You're not sure what it is. It might be rabbit. It might be boar.
Might be spider meat. Spider flesh. Spider
spider
flesh.
But there are also some root vegetables, turnips, stuff like that. There are some apples for fruit. Like,
And
not
anybody
modern
who's
apples,
weirded out
but
by the concept of eating spider meat, you better not eat any crabs then.
Spider.
Exactly.
Kinda.
not like modern apples that are big and juicy and sweet, but, you know, apples.
Wild,
It's like, man,
wild
this
small
spider's-
apples.
Wild
This
small
spider
apples.
leg is tasty. What's the name of the species, Peter Parker?
That's not a species.
I was thinking more to the Baldur's Gate scene where it gives you an option to lick a spider carcass.
Ooh.
I'm licking the damn thing.
Of course I'm gonna lick a spider carcass. Why would it ask if I'm not supposed to?
Gain affliction
Yeah.
of
Just so that
dysentery.
you can have the disapproval of your companions.
They'll get over it.
Yeah. But yes, food sounds good.
Okay.
It's dinner time.
Y'all can cook something up, I'm sure. There's
I'm
a
sure.
fire pit right here that you can cook over. There are
Right. I will
accoutrements
make something
to
delicious.
cook. Anybody else doing anything different?
Doesn't sound like it.
Naren's talking to Satoru.
Okay. What would you like to talk to him about?
She will like. Is he sitting on like a mat or something? Like what
No,
was he
he's
hanging
just
out
standing
here for?
around looking. He's checking out the area.
She will tell him that she wishes to speak to him, and she's not really going to make it sound like he has an option in the matter, and to follow her.
Okay. Like, what else
We
is he
need
gonna
to
do?
talk.
What else is he gonna do? This is.
Yeah, exactly. She just kind of demands it and expects that he follows her.
He'll go ahead and follow you.
Then she'll like get settled on something to sit down so that they're not on the floor, and she'll even share her mat with him because Naren still tries to treat him with some decency. And she will like look at him quietly for a while, and then ask him, "Do you really think that if you are set free from here, you will get what you want?"
I believe that the person with the larger army wins.
I think as soon as your group has decided that your usefulness has run out, that you will be dead.
Oh,
And
most
I do not
assuredly.
know. I do not know why you have so much confidence that you are anything but a pawn for them.
Is that not the way of the samurai?
I suppose it's who your master is. Ours
When-
is the empire. Yours is not.
When a samurai is no longer useful, it is a death.
It is a death with honor, perhaps. I do not see the honor in your actions. And I do not see the wisdom in them either. You could take this opportunity to regain some measure of your own dignity, yet you continue to insist on being weak-willed and a coward.
Weak-willed and a coward. I have very little recourse here. I am a man in chains.
You could choose to die with some dignity when the time comes.
He shakes the chains and he says, I am denied such.
I do not think that is true.
What? All I have are my words.
I am prepared to consider speaking on your behalf if you can give me a reason to, Satoru. If you can show me that you can be a decent human being for even one moment, I am prepared to try to help you regain some measure of your lost honor.
What does that mean exactly? Is that simply to do what you say and to be on your side? Shall I swear fealty to you, Naren?
No. I don't need you to be a puppet. You can do that plenty well on your own. I truly
Then-
would like to know, to understand what goes on inside of your twisted mind. I think perhaps more than anyone else here.
I am trying to figure out what your goals are. I still haven't figured that out. You have from what I have gathered, you have some sort of romanticized idea of turning the clock back on this empire. That whatever has happened can be simply restored. And that is not how any of this works.
I am not as naive as you think I am. I understand that the status quo changes with the wind.
Hi, Juvie. He just said Naren is a Sith. She only deals in absolutes.
Called out.
We want to see the rising sun again. His group would rather keep the clouds blocking that view.
So, I ask you then, like I asked you before, why aren't you here raising an army? Why aren't you here supporting your cause? Why would I side with the group that's going to lose? If I die supporting the group that wins, I die a legend. If I die a turncoat, what does that do to my honor?
So you wish to simply be remembered. Regardless, you have no other concern
To be
for
remembered?
you have no other concern for your actions, for your own soul, other than to be remembered by the winning side.
My soul is of utmost importance. I am a Kitsu. But the people whose souls are the ones that are saved are the ones who are deemed so. Sure, good actions. A thunder goes to Yomi. True. But does a person who puts the Emperor on his throne also go to Yomi for doing such a service to the Empire? Honorable actions can be simply to the Lord, whomever that Lord will be. If there are two lords, two people that are going for the same position, the same daimyoship, and you fight honorably, you fight legendarily, but lose still because you have the smaller force, you are not going to Yomi. You may have a traitor's grave because you went against the true daimyo. This is the way of things, Naren-san. I am Kitsu. The ancestors are at my beck and call. The kami speak to me. And I know the truth. I know the truth of the Empire.
Where are your ancestors now, Satoru? Do they stand by you?
I wish I
Do
could
you
speak.
think they would be proud of you?
I wish I could speak to them, unlock these chains.
You could speak to them before you were manacled. Or were you simply not listening to what they had to say? I do not believe that I will convince you. I do not even wish to convince you. I don't care if you're on my side or our side or on the side of your group or anything like that. You, Satoru, have already lost. What I wish to do is simply give you a chance to speak to somebody who might listen to a single thing that comes out of your mouth. But if you insist on only doing what you think will benefit you, if you have such little regard for compassion, then you are not the more worthy. You are not a worthy adversary as I thought you might have been. And that is instead you are simply a disappointment. And there will be nothing to gain. Nothing to gain for either one of us.
Compassion is an interesting tendon of Bushido. It can be spun many ways, and has very much so in the past, and will be in the future. Your own clan, the Scorpion clan, knows this quite well. What are they? The villains that the Empire needs? How many Scorpion do you think are in Yomi?
I don't OOCly know what that is. Is that
Yomi is heaven.
that's heaven?
Well, Yomi is like there's two
The honored
heavens. Tengoku is where like God lives and like all the dragons and stuff. They're like that's where
Fortune from dragons.
that's where all of like the heavenly bureaucracy is. And then there's Yomi where that is like your spiritual reward heaven. That's where you go to play pickleball with all of the heroes and see your grandmother and stuff like that.
And then there's Meido, which is the realm of waiting, which is kind of like limbo.
Purgatory?
Yes. Yeah. Mind you, only the best of the best get to go to Yomi. Everybody else gets reborn as somebody else down the line.
Yeah, unless you
And
achieve
the
your karmic
animals go
destiny
to
or
a
did
different
something
heaven.
very remarkable in life, you go to Meido.
But he'll yawn. He can't really stretch. His hands are manacled together, but he'll do his best and say, well, I am pretty tired. Tell me when the meal is ready.
She takes off her mask and is just frowning. And then she hollers over to Daisuke and says, "Daisuke, come watch him." Very annoyedly says that out loud and then walks away.
Daisuke,
Well, Daisuke has questions for him as well, so he'll probably inquire.
He's
a
like, "If
few
I
things.
stay here, I'm gonna hurt him."
So Daisuke will go ahead and walk up to Kitsu Satoru. Let me go ahead and exit out of the room. And yes, he also does take the card with him,
Okay.
and he sits himself down next to Kitsu Satoru, and motions to him, says, I do have a few questions, considering that we haven't really spoken about your own personal beliefs and your involvement with everything that is going on.
do you really think I can say a lot?
Well, however you can, if you can answer. I'm pretty sure I cannot ask you what are the goals of your associates, but what is the reason that you wish to insert yourself into positions of power of the Empire? Are there...
He laughs. Are you Crane? Are you
What?
Crane?
I think what he's trying to say is, why would you, such a lowly lion, try to play at the games of us, the high up?
Crane, yeah,
No.
exactly.
That is our
Don't you
realm
have a
of
war
politics.
to go die in?
Yeah. Wouldn't you be more satisfied toiling in the mud during a war? Come now.
Why aren't you
Leave the
throwing yourself on the
justification to those
spears
like
of the enemy so I can enjoy my sushi in the castle? But yeah, basically he says, "Are you not Crane? What are you talking about?"
So what I'm trying to ask, or like essentially have Daisuke suss out is like like okay, so he wants a better political position to get out of wherever he's been placed within the empire.
Right.
Like I was also trying to see if there was like any other like motivations that he thought as like more noble, like maybe if he had like people that he wanted to protect or something of the sort
Okay.
that were involved in some underdealings, that if he put himself into power, then maybe he could protect those that he's
Would you like to make a
positioning himself
courtesy
into.
roll to see if you can't get this information out of him? I'm sure you
Sure,
don't want to do this through role play. You'd rather roll some dice instead.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm terrible at roleplay, so
He has, yeah, okay, it's going to be a TN3.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
depends on what
figured.
you're role playing, Matt.
well, I'm a very blasé
Being the-
individual, so I'm
Being the
terrible at it.
political person is not your strong suit, but you did really well with the monk.
Because he wasn't political. Like, funny enough, like Daisuke was supposed to be like my little joke character that he wears a disguise and he's supposed to be a hoity-toity individual, but a little out of my depth here. Like when playing him, even though he's supposed to be political about it. So social courtesy charm.
Are you
I'll
going to use water
Yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna use water to
to charm?
charm. Yeah, probably the best way to do it.
Just gotta go pour some tea on the bonsai.
I remember that. Poor Tatsuo.
That's a very good roll. Let's see what you keep here.
Would bonus successes give me access to more information?
Sure.
Or, all right. Yeah, I think I'm willing to risk that. Don't think I'm gonna keep that one, and I'll use that opportunity to negate the strife that I got from this roll.
He says, nobody really asks me about the people I care about. And there are a lot of people that I do, especially. And all of his words disappear into the kame. All of those people, those names that you wanted, and all of that information. Yeah, that's stuff that he is not allowed to talk about.
So Daisuke will try to mention. Okay, so there are people that you like semi role playing here that there are people that you care about that you want to help with this cause. So I can understand that, and at least gives me some more insight as to making you more human than making him out to be scum of the earth. That he can empathize with wanting to help the people that he is he wants to take care of.
He says legacy is extremely important.
All right. So I think I'll go ahead and let Daisuke kind of sit in contemplation, and let the scene go to another character.
All right. The chat is going crazy.
Dang. Oh, and by the way, while I was at Pups and Pals working, I talked with some people who work there, and they are into role playing, and they seemed interested in hopping onto the Twitch stream. So
Awesome.
we might have some new viewers.
I'd love to see that. Is there anything happening over on Twitch? Nah.
Nah, not yet.
Let me hear about the Clockwork Elves and Legend of the Five Rings.
Clockwork elves.
I'd love to have. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Sounds like an interesting character concept. I like it.
Daisuke should go all Alex Jones, just crazy enough to make sense.
Turn the freaking frogs gay.
We have to defend the country! They're taking our guns.
Guns?
My God, I still remember watching that video where it goes bshoo, bsha, bsha, and like someone put special effects on it. I was crying with laughter watching that. I'm like, oh my God.
Kitsu Satoru's arguments are being held together with flex tape right now.
I don't know. I think he makes a lot of sense. I'm on his side.
He does.
Well, I mean,
well,
you are
of course you are.
Of
You're the
course
GM.
you are.
Evil monster.
You're coming up with his arguments. Of course you think they're so great.
So like, you know,
It
my
just-
goal.
I like the fact that you wrote him to not see the forest from the trees. Like, he has so many interesting like argument points, but at the same time is blinded by his own ambition.
Yeah.
Naurin is totally like the easiest person out of this group to influence here too. All he would have to do is just pretend to go along with what she's saying, and like he could start to work her over. But no, he has his head shoved way too far up his ass to even bother.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like whenever you like Naurin talks with him, you're not getting the information that I thought would be like relevant to at least characterizing him to. Like, I wanted to try to at least have him characterized in a more empathetic light. It was like, hey, maybe he has like some family members that were screwed over by the previous regime that he's like, you know what, no more. I want to see change happening, and I wanted to at least get that information out of him in my roleplay, but I did a poor job like trying to roleplay it.
You're not
so I'm
going to
like,
get
all right.
anything useful out of him. I've tried multiple times.
He's not. He's
To
not
be a
the
bit fair there, Naurin, he's such a brown noser, it's probably not his own ass he's got his head up.
fair.
He's not.
I mean, he obviously wants power and glory, which is a very lion thing to want. And he thinks that the side that he's on is going to win the overall war, and he will get that glory. The thing is, the person who is talking to him is less interested in the glory of the situation and but more interested in the honor of the situation. And he could probably manipulate that argument into well, it's the honorable thing to do because blah XYZ. But he is so focused on like, no, but you could have the same kind of power I'm going for too. And she's like, I don't care
give a
about
fuck.
that. Like, I don't want the power. I want you to give me a reason to think that this is the way my loyalty should go because I am loyal. I'm a loyal person.
Exactly.
And I think that's really funny. Because a more skilled like manipulator would probably have a very easy time
would definitely be preying on
Ploy,
Naurin's weaknesses here.
using this as a ploy.
Well, luckily
Instead,
he's
he
a
just makes her
lion.
angry.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just put his disadvantage in the
Arrogant.
chat
Yeah, he's
there.
arrogant. That's exactly it. He's arrogant.
Obviously.
Very fitting. I do have that in my notes on him, yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure we already uncovered that, but you
Oh, yeah,
play
a
it
long time ago,
well.
like
If I
beginning of the
didn't
trip.
already have a rivalry bond with Matt, I might want to take one with Kitsu Satoru just because of how hard he pisses Naurin off.
She's confused by him, like
She
flummoxed.
is. She's completely flummoxed by him. He doesn't make sense to her whatsoever.
All right. Well, y'all have a meal. Y'all can bed down for the night and wake up in the morning. Unless there is something specific you want to do. Stop me if there's something you needed to do.
We need
Nope.
to all use the potty, GM. All
Yeah,
of
there's
us.
one. There's an outhouse.
I figured there's an outhouse.
Do the monks all go to sleep at some point?
Yeah, they'll all kind of.
No, they don't sleep.
They do. They do
They
sleep.
skitter around the walls.
But they have their own.
at
They have
night.
their own room back here, and they'll let you have free reign of the rest of the place.
I kind of. They have their own. Oh, they go into that side room.
Yes, the side room
Uh-huh.
over here.
That's what I wanted to go and look in. On.
Oh, okay, you can go over here and Yeah, I mean,
I wanted
come
to just go
Snoop.
sneak a peek.
Go
and
sneak
see
a
what the
peek.
hell's
Ew,
going on in
turns
there.
out it's just a bedroom.
Go
They
sneak
all
a
turn
peek.
into spiders at night.
That's true.
Oh.
It is just a bedroom.
This is
but
their curse.
I figured it would just be a bedroom. But is there a fifth person here? Is what I was looking for. Or a
There's-
sixth person here.
No, there's no sixth person.
So the
And they're-
sage doesn't.
they're a
live
little
here.
The
chests where they
chains
keep
hold
their
down their
stuff.
extra spider limbs.
The sage does not stay with them.
No.
Okay. Is there anything here that looks like a koan or like there's like a whiteboard over
There's a
here.
banner. This is a banner, and it has their little spider emblem on it. This is a bookshelf with books.
It's not where they write down all of their secret
Plots?
philosophies, right?
There may be secret philosophies in their bookshelf or on this desk over here.
Oh, okay. There's a desk over there with a book on top of it. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I want.
This is also a bookcase over here.
Take a look.
Some
Yeah.
books.
So now, Rin, Kuranagi is going to be subtly taking a snoop, doing a little snoopy snoop.
Okay. You look at the book and it is logging that you guys are going through the gate and are visiting the spider realm. It also, as you go backwards, has names of people that have come through here, including people from the flower domain and from the domain of blood.
And you see some names crossed out in red ink. Like,
The domain of blood. Is there a name for the person who's here from the domain of blood?
Yeah, but it's like, they write down that there's a man that came from the domain of blood. They say what his name is, that he tried to curse them. They put them in the jail, and then they executed the guy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Execution style. All right. Got to keep that in mind. Don't go around cursing anybody.
So yeah,
Guys.
it's just a logbook of guests and such.
Very interesting information in the logbook, though. I will also go and check the bookshelf to see what kind of philosophies they read.
All right.
How to eat people.
Whoa.
Liquefaction, step 1.
There's a couple books
Oh.
on law. There's a couple books on religion. There's one scroll that recounts, and there's a scroll in a position on the bookshelf of note. Like, this one is important. And you take it, you open it up, and it seems to be a recounting of the creation myth.
Oh, really? The celestial tournament?
No, further back creation myth.
Ooh.
The creation myth of creation.
Of
And the three sins.
darkness and light
And the three sins.
and creation and the three sins.
And the three sins, yes.
Regret. What is it? Regret,
Fear,
fear,
desire,
regret, and
regret.
desire. Fear, desire, and regret. Yeah. Okay. So it's that creation myth.
Yes.
Is it an accurate portrayal as far as Kuranagi has remembers? Can I do like a theology check to see if it differs?
Sure, go ahead. You can make a recall Earth theology, TN3. Oh, look at that.
Perfect. Pretty much.
No, not perfect. Um. Fuck.
Can you only keep 2 or something?
Yeah, I can only keep 2.
Oh no!
I only have an Earth of 2.
No!
Okay.
It seems...
I succeed.
Oh yeah, you can do that! Oh, look at that!
With 1 minute to spare, it gets used.
Hey, thank you,
You
for
do
voting in
have
our
that.
poll.
I
Tomorrow,
needed the help,
Monday,
guys. Thank you.
Tomorrow, Monday, we're going to be putting that poll up, so you get to vote for the next person who gets the karmic reward and can get that super good I succeed on any roll. So, this is what you know. For the most part, it is an accurate retelling of the creation myth, with no differences in like substance, but it does have difference in style. So most texts will use this as a lesson, as in this is something to be warned about, and they put it. This text seems to put it in a good light, as if
Positive
this is
light.
something that is supposed to be that this is without this nothing would be, and therefore it is a
Creation
good
wouldn't
thing.
exist. I see.
It is.
So
It's
since-
very subtle, but that seems to be the message.
Okay. Kuranagi will kind of contemplate that for a bit, not knowing exactly what to make of their interpretation of the creation myth. This is strange because there is a lot of things tied up in this creation myth that could be like it could be understandable. It could be a humanization thing.
So
Like it is okay because all humans have sins of regret and desire, and is a natural part of being human. It could be a humanist thing.
I'm sure Sasha, James, and Matt have no idea what the or Crystal have
Me
no idea
either.
what the creation myth of Legend of the Five Rings is. So Tarek, would you like to recount it?
So, if I remember correctly, there is nothing before the fall of the gods. The idea is that was it a Kenku? I can't remember who it was that started plucking like naming things.
So
Um,
let me recount it then.
Go ahead.
So in the beginning, before there was creation, before there was a world, there was nothing. And it was a very lonely existence. So the nothing, the what was not became afraid that this is all that there is. And so desired something more. And within that desire, created the world. Heaven, earth, all of the realms. And then in doing so, there was no place left for nothing. And nothing regretted creating. And that's the creation myth of Legend of the Five Rings.
And how it ties into so many things. It ties into the Naga. It ties into because the Naga are the keepers of this myth because they're the only ones who know what happened before
So
the gods.
So this is where the three sins of Rokugan come from, and the three sins are fear, desire, and regret. A samurai does not fear. A samurai desires nothing but for his lord, and a samurai does not makes no actions that he would regret or she would regret. And the creation myth is told as a cautionary tale. Do not desire, for if you create something, it may be your own undoing. And that's it. I mean, there's more details. There's there is a thing that began to name all of the stuff in creation. There were the gods, the fortunes that were created.
But the gods, the two gods that matter are Anatangu and Amaterasu because they were
the sun and the
direct
moon.
inheritance.
The sun
And
and the
then-
moon.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the sun and the moon created their children, which were the kami, the legendary kami, the founders of the clan, which were Doji, right? Shinjo, Bayushi, Agasha. No, not Agasha.
Shiba,
Yes, Shiba. Sorry,
Shiba,
Togashi
Togashi,
and Hida.
Makoto, and Hida.
Yes, Akoto and Hida. And then
Yep.
there were two other legendary kami, Fuling and I forget the last guy's
Ryoshin.
Ryoshin.
Ryoshin. Yeah.
And that's
Ryoshin was
it.
the brother who fell and died.
Splat.
The sad one. The
Yep.
forgotten brother.
The forgotten
and
one.
then the whole reason why Anatongu started to eat his children was because the Nothing told him to. The Nothing told him to worry because he would regret his creations. And Anatongu ate them. Amaterasu warned Hantai, and Hantai went and sliced open Anatongu to free all of his brothers and sisters.
It's a convoluted creation myth.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting.
All right, everybody gets 2 experience points. Let's see what kind of hogs y'all can get. I need my book.
Give me them hogs.
Let's see what kind of
Get
hogs we
your
can
hog
give you.
out.
Do. No glory, but honor probably. Let's see here. Compassion, courage, courtesy. I'm going to give everybody a point for courtesy, for being courteous guests here. Honor, righteousness. I am going to give everybody a point for righteousness for telling these monks why you are doing what you are doing. You were very truthful to them, and you did not hide any of your mission. And that's it. That's all. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. We had a lot of viewers today, and I'm glad you were all here watching this stream. We're just about done. Is there anything anybody would like to say before we go?
Join the dark side.
Join the
We have milkshakes.
Milk.
And chocolate chip cookies instead of oatmeal.
From Sasha, Tarek, Crystal, James, Matt, my name is Corey, and you should all go roll some dice. See you later.